On this channel, I've already spoken about the Sage Immunity Boosting Tea after the Breuss fasting method and what effects it has on my health and my family's health during the winter months. But although I did tell you in the previous video what ingredients there are for making the Sage Immunity Boosting Tea, however, we never prepared the mixture together. So this video is just about that. We are going to see what the herbs look like, we are going to mix them, and we are going to put them in the containers labeled with the labels that I prepared for you, so you can download them in the PDF in the description. I would just like to note that I do realize that I had a really bad hair day when I filmed that video, so please don't pay any attention to the top of my head, just pay attention to the procedure and the ingredients that are going to the Sage Immunity Boosting Tea. Alright, now let's go into the video. So let's prepare the Breuss Immunity Boosting Tea, Sage Immunity Boosting Tea. And for mixing the tea, when you buy it at your local farmer's market or your local store, you are going to need a scale, you're going to need somewhere where you are going to mix the teas, and you're going to need containers with the labels so you can put the tea inside. So the labels you can do on your own. All you need is the name of the tea and the ingredients, but it's also a good idea to have the recipe, how to cook the tea, on the label. So to make my life easier when I'm fasting, because I always forget, I only fast once a year, so you tend to forget in a year exactly what goes into each tea and how you prepare each tea. So I made labels for all of the teas that you can print out. The PDF for all of the tea labels is in the description below. So download it, print it, cut it, and then stick them to your glass containers where you will be storing the tea. Alright, so I already did that. This is my sage, this is the container for my sage tea, and this is the container for the herbal mixture. So as you can see, there are ingredients on one side of the jar. I have the ingredients and exactly how to drink it, and on the other side of the jar I have exactly what I'll need for cooking the tea per one day and for one person, let's say, and exact preparation. So this is very good to have if you would like to make your fasting and your preparation for your fast easier. I highly recommend that you download the PDF and stick it to your jars. Alright, so as I said, you are going to need a scale because we are going to measure how much of each herb we are going to put inside, and we are going to need a bowl where we are going to mix it. However, I will also need a surface where I can cut my teas or my herbs and a knife. I'm going to show you why. If you watched my previous video about what you need and how to make the Breuss Immunity Boosting Tea, you will know that I already grow my own herbs for my immunity boosting tea. And those herbs are, we have sage, and I am storing them in plastic bags, which is not ideal because we have plastic everywhere and I would really like to have something different. But so far I only found that plastic containers preserve the herbs as they should be. I have tried putting them in glass containers, I have tried putting them in cloth bags, but the herbs went soggy, so they were not useful anymore. So plastic bags work best for me. If you have any idea of how to store your herbs that is environmentally friendly, please write it in the description, because I would really like to exchange the plastic bags for something more environmentally friendly. However, for now, these are the storage containers for my teas. And what I wanted to show you is that when I pick my sage leaves and when I dry them, the sage leaves are big. And because they are so big, it is very unpleasant to cook with. And you cannot grab, you know, one... they're very pungent. And they are not very friendly to, you know, take one pinch as Breuss recommended. So I tend to cut up the leaves. So I'm going to do that right now. So it's going to be a little more friendly to for the cooking process. And also wrap you and seal the bag or whatever container you contain the herbs in, and put it aside. You're going to need it because we are going to drink a lot of Breuss immunity boosting tea in this winter or in this cold months. So knife, and just cut the herbs as thinly as possible. Now, I have tried mixing them in a food processor, but they are just rolling around in the food processor, and they're not cutting very well. So the knife and the wooden board method work just fine for me. So this is the consistency of the sage that we would like, compared to the whole teas and the whole leaves, which is not very easy to put inside of the jar. So these are the herbs that we are going to put in our jar. Now take your glass jar where you already put the label in, and the sage is not important how much you put inside of the jar. It is not weight, and when you run out, you will just go and chop up another one, or you will buy it in your local store probably. So put the tea inside of your jar. And let us, probably going to cut this one too. And then we're going to continue with the herbal mixture for the sage immunity boosting tea. All right? All right, now we're going to make this herbal tea mixture for the sage immunity boosting tea. As you know, there are 3 ingredients that go inside of this herbal mixture, and that is mint, lemon balm, and St. John's wort. Now, 2 of them I already have, but the 3rd one I am still drying the leaves, so I will be using the bought one. And this is it. I have my lemon balm here again in the plastic bag. I have my dried and freshly picked St. John's wort, my St. John's wort, which we picked in the mountains in July. And I'm going to show you how they look like. And also I have my bought mint, because mint I am still drying, not in the sun but in a dryer, so not my air dryer but in the herb dryer. Alright, so what we are going to need, if we're going to make the tea for, let's say, 1 month just for you, you will need 30 grams of each herb. Now if you don't have 30 grams of all of the herbs, then just take whichever herb you have the least, and then you adjust the other 2 herbs. So I am going to, let's say, sage immunity boosting tea. I'm going to prepare my weight. The least herb that I have is mint. So I'm going to first weigh the mint leaves, and then we're going to adjust both of the other 2 teas according to the mint. So if we pour this, perfect, inside, I have exactly 20 grams of mint dried leaves. Now that we have the mint inside, oh, it smells beautiful. Just adjust the scale to 0 again. Put the leaves inside. Leave the leaves inside, and now we're going to put St. John's wort inside again with the mint. And since I have 20 grams of mint, we're going to have 20 grams of St. John's wort inside again as well. 15. Ah, perfect. 20, 21.
So this is the St. John's wort that was picked from this year from our neighboring mountains, and this is St. John's wort when you buy it at the store. So don't be afraid if your herb looks a little bit different than mine, because this one is homemade, let's say, and these are only the flowers. And this one, you can barely see the flowers, and there are a lot of stems inside as well. So yeah, when you will be buying the St. John's wort, please keep in mind that mine is homemade, and this is what store-bought looks like.
And then adjust the scale again and put inside your lemon balm leaves. Now, lemon balm leaves are a little different than the sage leaves. They are still, again, in such big chunks, but if you just crumble them with your fingers, they're going to go small without any effort, because with sage leaves I cannot do that. They are too stubborn, so I have to cut them up. So we adjusted the scale. All right, let's put 20 grams of lemon balm herb into the bowl. Oh, 21. Okay, see? 20. Perfect. There are herbs all around. Okay, now seal the bag if you have any herbs left over. The same do with this. I'm going to throw this away. Ooh, I am dirty. Dirty. Now we have exactly 20 grams of mint.
As I can show you, these are the mint leaves. As you can see, they are pretty big if you compare them to St. John's wort, but they are going to crumble really easily when you roll them around with your fingers, and they can be easily put into a smaller size of the herbs, so you can pinch them and cook them properly.
Now that you have weighed the herbs, this bowl is a little too small, so I'm going to put it into a bigger bowl, all the herbs, and I'm going to mix them thoroughly and squeeze them between my fingers. Ooh, you can see they're dry, and this is only the St. John's wort is steaming. So mix them together thoroughly, and then we are going to transfer them in our glass container where it says herbal tea mixture for the sage immunity boosting tea. And try not to cough when you're doing this. Okay. Alright, now it stops smoking. Take your next glass container and put the dried leaves inside that you mixed them well. Just make sure that you really mix them thoroughly. Okay. And this is another reason for a bigger container for the mixture, because this is only 60 grams of all of the herbs, and if you have 30, so you have 90 grams the volume is even bigger, so you will need a bigger jar for the herbal mixture. Okay, and this is deep enough. Let's see. Cool. Let's put it inside. So this is the herbal mixture for the Breuss immunity tea prepared. Seal it. Make it airtight. And now you have both herbs, the mixture of the herbs and the sage tea leaves ready. So now it's time to cook the sage immunity boosting tea. So this is my first part of the sage immunity boosting tea video. There is also going to be a second part where we are going to cook the sage immunity boosting tea. So this will be in my next video about the Breuss fasting method. So you will see both of the procedures, how we are mixing the teas. This is what we learned today, and how we cook the teas. This is what we are going to cover in the next video. So I hope that you will find the cooking part of the video of the sage immunity boosting tea as helpful as you found this one. Until next time.